Now, in a battle against nature and time, 4 men have successfully rowed 3,500 miles across the North Atlantic from New York to the UK. Team United, We Conquer, spent 56 days at sea, faced ferocious storms with limited rations and only a bucket for a toilet. But despite the immense challenges, the crew managed to break a Guinness World Record and have raised £100,000 for a charity that aims to save veterans' lives. So I'm now pleased to say I'm joined by 3 out of the 4 teammates, David Bruce, Sam Edwards and also Adam Radcliffe. Absolute pleasure to have all of you on the show with me this evening. Adam, we'll start with you. So you're an adventurer who's taken on some pretty extreme expeditions in the past, but what inspired you to take on this challenge?
Yeah, nothing quite as extreme as this one, though. And yeah, we all became friends through a variety of stars aligning. And as soon as this became apparent that there was an opportunity to row this old boat all the way across 3,500 miles, completely unsupported, it sounded like a hell of an adventure. So I needed to step up my game, do some serious training. And then it was a pleasure to join these 2 boys and Jack Jarvis, who is our 4th teammate, in setting a world record and making that crossing across the North Atlantic.
And Brucey, you served in the Royal Marines. Tell us why the money you've raised is actually so important to veterans.
Yes, unfortunately, a lot of people leave the service with, they leave the service and, yeah, they struggle to adapt to civilian life for various reasons. And the £100,000 we raised is going towards a Head Up charity retreat, which will hopefully provide some people with the tools to deal with those issues.
And Sam, what were the biggest challenges you faced at sea? Because we heard there from Adam, and it seemed pretty extreme in all the training involved. So tell us more, Sam.
Yeah, so I'd say it was the elements that were quite challenging. We had a lot of hot weather at the start and then some pretty stormy weather towards the end. So it got a little bit colder. So elements were a big factor. And also I'd say sort of like keeping infections down as well, and keeping yourself clean and whatnot. So it's really important to look after yourself and just be aware of the elements. So that was probably the hardest part.
And I'm sure living on a small boat altogether couldn't have been easy. So, Adam, what were your highlights from the trip? Because I admire all of you, 4 of you putting up with each other in not a very big space.
Yeah, it was certainly tough. We had to use the parachute anchor at some points, which stops you getting blown too far in the wrong direction if the winds are particularly strong. And that meant none of us rowing, so all of us stuck in a cabin together, getting sick of each other very quickly. But we all overcame that and still friends at the end, which is amazing. And yeah, the highlights for sure were, I think we all were in agreement that when it's nice, calm conditions, which was sometimes rarer than others, we could have our cabin doors open and all socialize on an evening with a beautiful sunset, maybe see some dolphins, and then think, oh, boys, this isn't actually as bad as it seems.
Until you get rowing the next morning, I'm sure, and then it might feel a little bit like that. But Brucey, can you tell us more about the world record attempt? Did you ever doubt that you might not actually break it? Because it was a pretty difficult one to break.
Yeah, so we rode 144 nautical miles in a straight line distance, but 150 with the route we took slightly deviated from the straight line. Yes, we had 3 attempts on that. The first time we thought the record became available to us, we didn't quite make it because we lost the current that we were in. Then we did 130 nautical, got that one locked in, and then we're still in the Gulf Stream, so we thought we'll give it another go. And then within the next 24 hours, we've achieved the world record, which we hold now.
Absolutely amazing stuff. Did you have to navigate that? Who was the navigator? Because I always feel like knowing all the directions is not the easiest thing.
Yeah, so we use Garmin chart plotter for the majority of the navigation. Points the data repeater went down, so we then had to start navigating, taking references from stars so we could hold our course.
Amazing stuff. And Adam, you've attracted attention from around the globe and doubled what you set out to raise. So my big question to you is, you've all just done this amazing adventure, but what is the next challenge on the cards?
Yeah, it really shows the power of social media, for all its faults, that we could share this incredible story. And, you know, so many people, millions of people took strength from the resilience that we showed on our mission, all 4 of us. So it's amazing that we're able to help people, you know, get to the gym, deal with their day-to-day lives, whatever they were suffering with. And I think by nature, I can speak on behalf of all 4 of us, we love living on the edge and extreme challenges. So Brucey and Nutty, both Sam and David, both served together in the Royal Marines, and I think they've got some mad adventures up their sleeves. And I've got a land-based adventure up my sleeve next, so I'll stay away from the ocean for a little while.
Oh, and Sam, what was it actually like for you when you finally got your feet back on dry land? How did it feel? Because you can always get those sea legs, can't you?
Yes, we all got the sea legs, and there was a bit of wobbling around. We all kept walking into staff and walking into each other, which was quite funny when we went on to get our breakfast in the morning after we arrived. So yeah, it was good to be back on dry land. Really good.
Perfect. And Brucey, actually, I just wanted to touch on something else. Is the hardest thing is getting men, particularly veterans, to talk about their mental health. And I'd just like to know what your message would be for someone who's actually struggling at the moment and right now, and how men can talk about their experiences when they've been away at war and also been in the army.
So yeah, I think it's really difficult but powerful to be able to open up to your friends about these things. Certain things I don't think you might be willing to share with the support networks that exist already through charities and things. I think the first stage would be to talk to people with relevant experiences that can sympathise perhaps with the situation you find yourself in.
And I just want to ask Adam, Brucey and Sam, are you all still friends after that epic journey that you made?
Absolutely.
For sure. We all saw each other yesterday, and it was a great laugh. Sometimes we're all thankful for our personal space when we got off, and then as soon as you're away from each other, you think, oh, I wish I had everyone around me again.
Yeah. And you guys feel the same way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me. And I just want to say a massive congratulations for raising money for such an important cause. And well done to all of you, Adam, Brucey and Sam. Once again, thank you so much for joining us.